Drake is one of those guys that makes the music that, but he's a hybrid because he's a hip hop artist at the same time. He's, so he can deliver both the. I think when they recognize you as a hip hop talent, you can bridge to other things. But when you are R&B, you're R.
50 Cent has always been a figure known for stirring up controversy, challenging norms, and getting into rivalries in the hip-hop world. He became a major name in music when he broke into the scene in the early 2000s, quickly gaining fans and critics alike. Recently, he's turned his attention to one of today's biggest stars, Drake, making headlines once again.
Welcome back to Marcus at Work Media. So 50 recently did an interview with Hot 97 with Ebro, and he kind of started talking about the Kendrick Lamar battle as well as his thoughts with the J. Cole thing. So first up,
do you think you watched the battle between them? You was paying attention?
Yeah,
it was entertaining for you as a rap fan?
It was good for the culture, bro. I mean, both of them produce material that's up to standard faster. At first, I had Kendrick not even in it because it was like boom, boom. He hit 2-3 times, and I ain't seen nothing coming from Kendrick. And then it was like Kendrick was making a CD instead of a response.
Kendrick is always going to be a media dog. And I told him, I said, because he has the ability to make you believe he had no idea this was going to happen. Like, I look at him and I go, nah, you can't do that to me.
Right. I know.
You knew you was working.
Right.
You worked on it and it paid off. Don't act like you didn't know it was going to happen. He's like,
he does that.
cause he'll be like, yo, like, wow, like that energy's there.
Did you think Kendrick had it in him to go as hard as he did?
Look, when they started going, that they like us, I don't have to tell you how territorial West Coast people are.
Yeah, it's not just
in
artists.
general, just the people in general. So when it gets to the West Coast side, and they not like us, they going to get together. Like, you put them on the stage together, that was all done properly.
Yeah, no, it was.
You enjoyed it.
Yes. They're different artists.
So among all of that, whether you agree or disagree, he also led into the whole J. Cole situation. He felt that the J. Cole situation kind of hurt him a little bit. He was expecting some competition, some pushback from Cole.
What about J. Cole?
In a recent string of comments that have sparked a lot of buzz on social media, 50 Cent took shots at Drake. He boldly claimed that the Toronto rapper would eventually follow in Diddy's footsteps, becoming a successful businessman and mogul with a huge influence, but ultimately seeing his music career overshadowed by his other ventures outside of music.
Well,
No, what happened to
He
him?
didn't want to be a part of it.
He said he didn't want. That's not who he was.
I know.
So what happened with J. Cole?
So how about that? I'm just saying to you, the culture, the competitive nature of it.
So do you think that someone can be? We defended J. Cole because frankly it wasn't in him to do it, and he made the decision.
And he took ownership. He didn't run for it. He took ownership of it. He was like, "Yo, he said I made a whack move." He even apologized, and he dipped out. Now, the only problem I have was recently he just put out a song, I don't know if you heard it, called Port Antonio, where he said, I would have won the battle, but I would have lost the brother. And we was like,
yeah, we didn't agree with that. That wasn't a great move.
You can't say that. You can't come out and say,
But do you think you're disqualified? Is he disqualified from being in the greats conversation?
Wait a minute. You just said feelings were valid, guys. You just said his feelings were valid.
They are.
And this is why when he stopped, it's because he felt like he could lose a brother. But he would have won the battle. Now, we did think, I was looking for J. Cole. Like, I'm like, ooh, let me see what he's going to do. And that.
J. Cole's nice.
Yes.
Dead nice.
Yes. And then when I go, oh, no. Why did you do that? I wanted to call him and tell him, don't do that. No. No.
You think it hurts him?
Yes.
Now, he carried on a little bit talking about his Las Vegas residency and all of that. Nobody cares about that. So do you guys agree with what he said about J. Cole or what he said about Kendrick and or Drake dealing with the battle in the current state of things? Put your comments below. Let's talk about it. This is Marcus at Work Media, and I'm out this bitch.
The rivalry between 50 Cent and Drake has been brewing for years. But this latest exchange has brought their feud back into the spotlight. Fans often compare the two, putting them head-to-head. On one side, there's 50 Cent, whose impact on rap in the early 2000s is hard to ignore. His debut album Get Rich or Die Tryin' and its follow-up The Massacre cemented his place as one of the most successful and influential rappers of his time. Known for his gritty lyrics, street credibility, and memorable hooks, 50 Cent was a powerhouse in hip-hop.
You know, I kind of wanted to touch on some old school stuff that I seen you talk about before, man.
Do it, bro.
You know, I had seen that, you know, you kind of knew 50 Cent before he blew up.
Yeah.
What was that like?
50 was the type of dude that kept like a little, he kept like a little pad with him. And he wrote everything down. You understand? Me and him caught the plane. We was going to Vegas. And I gave him my card. My business card was savoir-faire, security, management, and everywhere. You know what I mean? So 50 did a song about that. You know what I'm saying? And he put that in the song. And some years, about a year or so ago, not even a year or so ago, he said that when he dropped my name, he said, yo, I got the savoir-faire. I got that from Big Gene. He been trying to tell y'all about this Puff shit years ago. But 50 was the type of dude that if you knew he was with you, he was with you. Even back then, he had your back whether you was security or whatever you did. If he was with you, he was with you. And that's what you gotta love about him. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta question his loyalty, you know what I'm saying, on some fight shit or if you in a situation. Cause he going out.
Well, I guess you were hanging around him or knew him, right before he got shot.
Well, what happened is that I had got some information. 50 came to my house. I tried to fit him on a vest, but I'm like, at the time I was like a 3X. And 50 was like a large, you know what I'm saying? So he couldn't really fit the vest, but I gave him a cover to try to tell him, because he had some pads, some vest pads. So I just told him what the situation was that I knew. And told him he had to watch himself because those cats was gonna come at him. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah. And he was supposed to be going to Cancun. And I told him, if you come to Cancun, I got you, because I used to be down there doing security at Daddy-O's. You understand? And I had people down there that I had knew that was from Puerto Rico, and they was working down there, so they should make sure when I hit the island, anything and everything I needed, I could get it right there on the island. You understand? They work directly with the syndicate. So 50 was supposed to come down there to do his
On the other hand, Drake is the face of the new generation of artists, mixing rap, R&B, and pop in a way that sets him apart. Despite their very different styles and career paths, 50 Cent and Drake have found themselves on opposite sides of a rivalry. This feud has been fueled by 50 Cent's habit of taking shots at anyone he thinks deserves it. Their tension goes way back, with multiple incidents over the years, whether it's comments about their differing approaches to music or subtle jabs in interviews.